I think this video is going to be quite the nightmare, and you'll see why. Well, hello everyone, welcome to Pop Culture Vortex. I am your host, Alex Pinto, and it is my privilege to welcome you to my channel as Halloween season is coming upon us, right? Of course, the first Thanksgiving, but you know what? It is now Halloween season, time for scares, right? Getting candy, all that shit, but most importantly, it is that time to watch some of your favorite horror films, right? And you know, I certainly love watching horror films around this time, and I decided to do a review today on A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original film directed by Wes Craven from 1984. I believe 1984 is when it came out. So yeah, what can I say about this movie, man? This movie is easily one of my favorite horror films of all time. You know, like it's my second favorite horror film, just behind The Exorcist, right? Which I definitely will review very soon. Freddy Krueger is easily my favorite slasher film, right? First, let's just get things out of the way. Robert Englund is fucking fantastic. I've met Robert Englund, actually. I met him at a fan expo, right? I believe it was 2023 Fan Expo Toronto. That was awesome, and he's a great dude, right? I got to hear him say, "Welcome to Primetime, bitch," like with his voice and everything. That was fucking awesome. So yeah, that's something I really like about the movie. Heather Langenkamp as Nancy Thompson. You know, you really follow that character throughout the entire film as, you know, she's slowly losing her mind. She's losing sleep over her fear of this man, Freddy Krueger, right? That's haunting her dreams. You know, Johnny Depp's in this movie. And this is Johnny Depp's first film, all right? A lot of people forget this. This is his first ever film. Before he was Jack Sparrow, he was Glenn from fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. And, well, he dies brutally. I mean, he gets sucked into a hole in his bed and fucking blood splatters everywhere, all fucking Shining style. Like, it's quite brutal and it's quite fucking awesome too. I love that scene. So what can I say about this movie? Like, this movie just, first of all, the practical effects are quite awesome. Like the scene when Nancy's like going on some stairs and she goes to some weird marshmallow holes right on the stairs, which I believe Wes Craven and the producer of that film, I can't remember what his name is, right? But they clashed over that. Like, the producer said, "No, I want those marshmallow holes, whatever the hell they are." And then Wes Craven said, "No, I don't want those." But ultimately, the producer won that. So here we are. So, you know, obviously the blood splatters and all that, right, are quite awesome in this movie. Even though, yes, the only dated scene when it comes to the gore is that scene when Tina, you know, the first victim of this movie, when her chest gets slashed. Obviously, you can see the bodysuit that's meant to, like, splatter blood. But, like, it was still quite... I still admire that it is practical, right? Before all this digital shit. And of course, you know, when she fucking is floating in the air as Freddy Krueger's just slowly slashing her, and then she falls into the bed and blood splatters. It's all quite awesome. So yeah, like, Freddy Krueger is easy my second favorite. Actually, I would say he's my favorite slasher killer ever. Like, I do like him better than Michael Myers and all that stuff, right? Even though I love Michael Myers and stuff, right? But still, Freddy Krueger, I mean, he has a natural charisma to that character, right? Fact of the matter is, he's a very twisted sense of humor, just psychopath, right? And then the fact that he gets this power to infect people's dreams, and that's what really makes this film scary. Just the idea that somebody can go inside your dreams and murder you. Not to mention, you can psychologically mess with your head in many ways possible, whether it's, you know, he feeds on whatever fears you got and stuff, right? Any guilt you've left behind. He knows how to feed into that, and that's what makes him menacing. You know, not to mention the burnt face and everything, right? Especially when you learn his backstory. The fact that before he was this, you know, monster infecting dreams, he was a human being, except he was a child murderer. Yes, he was a child slayer. He was brutally murdering children, right? I mean, I believe at a time they did want to say he was a pedophile, but I believe they wanted to, like, kind of tone that down a bit. They didn't want to... I mean, it's basically kind of implied. I mean, nobody's stupid at it. I think that's kind of what the intent they were going for, but I think they kind of dumbed that down a bit, so that just basically stuck with him being just a child slayer. So there's that, right? And my God, like, his backstory is just scary, right? The fact that he did things like that to these children. And then when you hear about the parents going over there, well, but I believe it was not the parents, but a bunch of kids, right? Like other teenagers went over, found Freddy Krueger's boiler room, and that's when they burned him down, and just that's how he became that. And then he gets his power to infect dreams. His backstory is really damn good, and in reality, this film is unique in its way because not just from the concept, but also like the music. I love the music of this film, mostly because it's not like a lot of times you'll see these horror films, right? Like, and it's used to this day that horror films always have this like slow moving music, right? And it works, right? Like it can be quite good, like the slow moving, quiet music. This film kind of takes that a bit. It kind of goes from more like kind of like a rock and roll style music, but it works and it's quite scary actually, especially Freddy Krueger's main theme and everything. It works really well with this film, and I quite like it on that aspect. Now, of course, another actor in this movie is John Saxon. He's actually credited first in this movie, but he's not in the movie all that much. But I guess it's kind of the same thing when it comes to Superman 1978, that Marlon Brando and Gene Hackman are credited in front of Christopher Reeve, despite the fact that it's Christopher Reeve's movie. But, you know, because they're the bigger actors, they get first credit. I guess same things with John Saxon, considering before this movie, he did Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. So I guess by that point, he was the more popular actor in that film. So, but he's quite good in there. Whenever he is on screen, like he is quite good, especially as that worried father and like the cop who's trying to like save these people and trying to like protect the town. It works on that aspect, you know. And right now, I will say this: not all the acting is good. Like for instance, the guy who plays who's the Atina's boyfriend? Rod Lane. His actor is not the best. I won't deny. His actor is, you know, he's not the best actor. You know, Heather Langenkamp is quite good, right? There are moments here and there where she kind of falls flat, but like for the most part, she is quite good in the movie. I actually do like her in the movie. Like she really does pull off just like, fact of the matter, she really pulled off a girl who's just has sleep in days, right? And she's slowly losing it. She does pull that off. But the only scene I don't really like in terms of her performance is that scene when they're in the police station right after Tina's death. And she's breaking down. Like, yeah, her crying, and she's not the best crier. We'll just say that. Like, not the best. But let me just say this. Cinematography is fucking fantastic in this movie, especially when it comes to differentiating the real world and the nightmare world. Like, the way they do the lighting and everything to make it seem and give us the vibe that this is the nightmare world. Like, it is fucking well done. Wes Craven just is a visionary when it comes to this film, right? Like, on so many aspects, and it gives you chills. Like, and there's some pretty good jump scares. The opening scene does have a pretty good jump scare. She pops behind Tina, right? Like, here and there are some pretty good jump scares, right? And to be honest, I would say this film kind of does like define a lot of movies made today. You know, like I feel like a lot of movies, like modern day slasher films, kind of take a lot of inspiration from this movie, especially with the way the teenagers would act. Right, I feel like this kind of created a lot of those cliches when it comes to teens, you know, being terrorized by a serial killer. I feel like they could take a lot of inspiration from this film in a lot of ways, right? So there's that, and really, what else can I say? Like, there's a lot to love from this movie. I mean, like I said, the practical effects are quite good, right? Like this film, just from start to beginning, just is really suspenseful. But you know what works with this film when it comes to Freddy Krueger? One thing about the sequels afterwards, right? A few exceptions here and there, but like the sequels afterwards, like they really do rely a lot on Freddy Krueger just being a wisecracking, like popping one-liners and just cracking jokes every second, right? And just like making him do the silliest things when it comes to his victims. Some of them are quite scary, right? Some of them are quite stupid, not gonna lie. But this film, he doesn't really talk all that much. Like, yeah, he pops in the, you know, odd line, like, say, oh, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy, or like, you know, come to Freddy, all that stuff. He does say that, right? But like, it's really, his lines and his dialogue's really, you know, limited. You know, like, I feel like that's the best way to, you know, do Freddy Krueger. Is like, don't give him too many lines, right? He is a speaking character, and have him crack the occasional line here and there, but make it have effect, you know? Don't just make him crack a one-liner for the sake of cracking a one-liner. And this movie is quite good at that. Like, whenever he does say a line, like, you know, it's quite scary. Like, you know, especially his come to Freddy, and he just transitions to what he's doing with his tongue. The I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy, is quite twisted as well. So it's like, it's used well in this film, unlike the other films where they just make Freddy Krueger kind of into a joke. You know, it doesn't work that way, and especially because he doesn't have that much screen time in the movie at all, right? Whereas the other film basically relied on just having Freddy Krueger pop up in each minute of the movies, right? So there's that. And I'll admit, I feel like in terms of the makeup and the design of Freddy Krueger, this film does it the best. All right, it does it better than any other film that come after this one, right? Like I feel like none of them had that same effect when it comes to his burnt skin better than this film. I will say that to this day. Like so, yeah. But overall, Nightmare on Elm Street is my second favorite horror film of all time. Right, I can watch this movie anytime. Right, I have the Blu-ray. I have all 7 of the original movies from the original to Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I have that, right? I don't have Freddy versus Jason or the remake. I mean, I like Freddy versus Jason because it's stupid, but you know, the remake I could care less to ever own. And so yeah. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you have not seen A Nightmare on Elm Street, I highly recommend you watch it. It's a very scary film, right? It's very entertaining. So I highly recommend you watch it, all right? Because it's fucking amazing. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I sure hope you liked this video. And if you did, please hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, all right? And no. Ah!